Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to our podcast Conversation on Prayer. We're in week 4, and throughout this week, we are teaching you how to pray with a Bible passage, getting real concrete this week as we give you an approach to prayer, a technique for prayer called Lectio Divina. We mentioned yesterday that Lectio Divina has 4 steps. The first step is when you simply read the scripture passage, paying attention to a word or phrase that tugs on your heart. Step 2 of Lectio is when you meditate on that word or phrase that tugged on your heart. Let me give you a concrete example. I was praying this morning with Psalm 37. Psalm 37 is one of my favorite psalms. It says that if we adhere our heart to the Lord, He will grant us our heart's desire. Right? If we give our heart to the Lord fully, then He will grant us our heart's desire. That's the word or phrase that spoke to me, that tugged at my heart. In step 2 of Lectio Divina, we now meditate on that. And I meditated on what is my heart's desire. In step 2, you're going to apply it to your life. You're going to ask yourself, what is this scripture passage, that word or phrase, what is that saying to me? How does it apply to my life? And so I asked myself, what is my heart's desire? The Catechism of the Catholic Church, that's the official teaching of the Church. It says that when we meditate on what we read here, another book is opened, the book of life. That's what's going to happen in Lectio. We're going to meditate on our lives now. And as I looked inside my heart, asking myself, what is it that I really want out of life? Or what is it that I want from God at this stage of life? Or what is it that my heart's desiring these days? I used my intellect to do that. I considered my own life. I didn't yet talk to God about that. I was really pressing in on my own life. And whenever we do that second step in Lectio Divina, I just want to caution you to not move too fast. Sometimes the first thing that we jump to is perhaps not the deepest thing that is in our hearts. And so in step 2 of Lectio, when you're meditating, when you're applying it to your life, I would encourage you to take some time to do that, because sometimes the first conclusion is not the deepest conclusion. The first connection is not the deepest connection, you might say. As we meditate on what's in our life, as we get real clear on that, we also consider the connections that might be there. Is this the first time God has said this to us? We want to not just rush into the conversation, but know what it is that we're bringing to the conversation. Is this a surprise that this connection is in your life? Or is it a surprise that God is lifting this up to you? All of that then prepares us into a concrete conversation with God, which is the third step of Lectio, the oratio piece, or the prayer piece. And we're going to unpack that tomorrow. Again, for your prayer, I would encourage you to pray with any of the Psalms. I think Psalm 42, 62, or 63 are great ones to pray with. Hey, you may even want to pray with Psalm 37 this morning, because that was one that spoke to my heart. Hope you're having a great week. Looking forward to being with you tomorrow as we talk about the third step of Lectio. And until that conversation unfolds, God bless you.